guys, it is April from Getting Hooked With It. I have to share my February book haul with you. I got some real gems in February. I went to a book fair last night when I'm filming this, and it was jam-packed. We were sardines in there, but it's always worth going to that one because they have so many brand new titles and just books that I've been wanting to read, and I'm really excited to get into it. So I've got books from that, and then I've got books that publishers sent to me. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with my little book fair haul, because I did well for myself. I think I got 7 or 8 books here. The first book up is something you've seen before, Life After Life. Now, I got this. I'm going to be giving it to my sister because this is my favorite book that I read last year in 2018. It meant so much to me. It was riveting. It was gorgeously written, and I just adore Kate Atkinson. My sister has never read Kate Atkinson, and I just know, I shouldn't assume, but I have a very sneaky suspicion that she's going to love her as well. So that's for my sister. So it's not really part of my haul. It's part of the haul from the book fair though. So that will go over to my sister. I also bought a book that my sister actually recommended or had just recently read, I believe. And it's Fatherland by Robert Harris. And the whole premise of this is a world in which Hitler actually won and what that would look like. I think I'm going to be putting this on my sci-fi section and not historical fiction, because this is obviously entirely imagined, but also terrifying. So I prefer to think of it in sci-fi. Yeah, it sounds really, really interesting, and my husband actually spotted this. I don't know why I say my husband when you guys know it's Barry. Barry spotted this one, and he just saw, what if Hitler had won? Great little subtitle, because even people who don't read a ton, pick this up. So he grabbed that, and I was like, oh, actually I've been meaning to read that. So I grabbed that one. This next one is the winner. If I didn't pick anything up at this book fair thing and only picked this one up, I would have been thrilled. Entirely thrilled. It's Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I have been meaning to read Sally Rooney for a while now. I feel like all of the British booktubers have really adored her. I think Normal People still hasn't come out in Canada. That's her second book, but it's come out in the UK. So until then, I've got Conversations with Friends. I'm so excited about this. This is truly about friends and their relationships with each other. And what all of the British booktubers seem to say, like Lauren and Simon, they just all say this is so real. It's not dramatized. It just feels like you're following real people. And I'm just so eager to see if Sally Rooney is for me. She's not even an up and coming writer anymore. She's here and here to stay, and people are saying she's the voice of the next generation essentially, and I am so eager to read her. So when I saw that, I was thrilled. My little secret that I do when I go to these book fairs is I go straight to the hardback section, even though it's more expensive there, $1 more. That was $3. No problem, I can do that. I go straight there because new releases are often out in hardback first, and so I go there and see what I can find. I only found that one, but last year I found The Girls there. I found Sing Unburied Sing there last year. So it's worth running to that section first. And then the next book that I got is a Kate Moss. I still haven't read The Burning Chambers, and I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I want to read it. I just haven't yet. But I picked up Labyrinth, which is the first in a trilogy. And this goes back and forwards in time. I always love that in books. I don't know why. It just appeals to me. We follow a woman in 2005, and she stumbles on 2 skeletons during an archaeological dig. And then we flash back to 1209, where in Carcassonne, a young girl is given a book said to contain the secret of the True Grail. So that just sounds wonderful. And this is part of a trilogy. I think it goes Labyrinth, Sculpture, or something like that. Oh no. Sepulture. God, I can't say anything. And then Citadel. So I've got Labyrinth, and now I have Citadel, but I need to get the middle one, which I don't think will be that hard to do. I think I've seen it at like Value Villages and stuff before, and I've never picked it up because I'm like, well, I have to read Labyrinth first. So yeah, I've got part of the trilogy now. I'm really hoping that I like Kate Moss's writing. I've heard that it's kind of dark and broody, and that it's like a page turner. Everything she writes is a page turner. So I have a feeling she'll be for me. Simon likes her, so that's a good sign for me. Yes, so I've got those now. And then I found The Hypnotist by Lars Kepler. Now, this is translated, and this is a new translation. So originally, all of the series was translated by a totally different person. I think I do or had one of those translations on my shelves. And then I went to the blog Crime by the Book, and she said, those translations aren't very good, but these are. This is translated by, Neil Smith. It's translated from Swedish by Neil Smith. So in this book, we are following a detective named Juna-Lena. She's investigating a triple homicide. There is a little boy who survived it, and he has suffered more than 100 knife wounds, and he's lying there in a catatonic state. And she has to get to the bottom of what happened, and it just sounds really twisted. This would be a great one for Thriller-a-thon or just any time-a-thon. I'm really excited. I am still on the hunt for a detective series that I will love. As you know, I'm really struggling. It's not my thing, and I want to find something where it will be my thing. So I've got some Kate Atkinson on my shelf, the Jackson Brody stuff, and I adore her writing, as you know. So I'm really hoping that maybe that will be it, and then maybe this will be the ticket. You never know. So I got that, and then the last book I got at the book sale is Let the Great World Spin. Now, I've seen this, oh my gosh, so many times at library sales, everywhere, and I pass it every time, and I go, I should probably get that. Everyone loves it. It's very well loved, but I just never have. And I think it's the premise, honestly. It's about a tightrope walker, and he makes his way between the World Trade Center towers. And it's about the people below who are watching him. And to me, that just it's not very appealing. Even though this really scary thing is happening, it just doesn't draw me in. But it is so well loved. So I would like to read this at some point, because obviously it's got hype for a reason. Maybe I'm missing out. So those were all of the books that I got at the book fair. This next book is on my shelf, off my shelf. So it is Washington Black. I will be reviewing this in my February wrap-up. I just have to say, I adored this book. The only reason that this book is on my shelves and off my shelves so quickly is my sister gave this to me. She got this for Christmas and she gave it to my mom after she read it. My mom read it, loved it, and then gave it to me. I read it and loved it. And so the deal with this book is you read it and then you pass it on to someone that you think will like it. So I'm going to find a friend. I think I have a friend in mind here in Ottawa. Hopefully she hasn't read it, who I want to pass this on to, and I'll tell her as well, like, the rule with this book is you read it and then you pass it on to someone you think will like it. So yeah, so that one is kind of on again, off again. And then the rest are from publishers. Two publishers in particular. I was unbelievably spoiled this month by Simon & Schuster Canada. Like, I don't know why they've taken such a lovely liking to me all of a sudden, but they've always been super generous with me, but this month they gave me like 5 books. The first book they sent without me requesting it, but it does look good. It's called The Temptation of Gracie by Santa Montefiore. Now I have the first in the Deverell trilogy on my shelves somewhere. And this sounds like it's a romance, which makes me nervous, but it's a romance in Italy. It's in Tuscany. This woman named Gracie, her husband has died, and she decides to go to Tuscany. She's grown apart from her family. She's feeling alone. Now, all of a sudden, her daughter and her granddaughter decide to join their mom and grandmother in Tuscany, and little do they know, a lifetime of secrets awaits them. So that will be really interesting. It sounds like there's a bit of mystery, but also romance in here. That might be nice for like summer or something. This one I did request. Simon & Schuster sent out an email to say, like, we've got these extra arcs for these books, and if you want some. This is The Island of Sea Women by Lisa C. Now, I have only read one Lisa C, and I didn't get on with it very well. I read Snowflower and The Secret Fan. But the storyline of it sounds really, really interesting. And her covers. Look at this cover. This follows 2 friends who are divers on the Korean island of Jeju. So they're working there and they are witness to so much in Korea. They witnessed Japanese colonialism in the 1930s and 40s, and then of course World War II happens right after that, the Korean War after that. Like, it's just like they're bombarded by history in the making, and they are in the midst of it, and it's about their friendships, and it does sound really good. Like, how can I say no to this storyline? It sounds great. And then they sent me this lovely little package of 3 books, 3 thrillers that they're excited about. My feet are falling asleep because I've been sitting down so long. The first is Looker by Laura Sims. This is about a woman who becomes entirely obsessed with an actress who moves onto her street. This actress has a really great life. She's a mom. She is happily married. And our main character is none of those things. She's not a mom. She's wanted to be a mom. And is sad that she hasn't become one yet, and she is recently separated, and she starts kind of stalking the Hollywood actress. I'm concerned just by the premise that this is going to be infertile woman is villain, because that storyline, I'm telling you, is so hurtful. It's so hurtful. I don't like that at all, but we'll see. I'll give it a try and I'll let you know. Because I'll let you know. That kind of storyline, I will definitely tell you. The next one is 7 Days. This is about a girl named Jasmine who is sadly taken. She's 7 years old and she is killed. Her father finds the guy that did it kidnaps him and begins to torture him. That sounds really intense for 7 days. And then the last one is Her One Mistake, which I believe is about a woman who takes another, like her friend's daughter. She takes her friend's daughter for the day, I think, and she looks away for a second and the kid is gone. And the friend is obviously furious with her, and it's ruining their friendship, and it's getting to the bottom of what happened to this little girl. That also sounds quite interesting. I like tense things between, you know, friends. Like, what would you do in that situation? Obviously, your friendship wouldn't be able to withstand something like that. I don't think it could. And then, okay, the last two are from Penguin Random House Canada. I requested both of them. The first is a cookbook. I don't usually request cookbooks from publishers, but this one I thought would come in handy because it's oven to table. And the whole point of this is like, throw it all in a pan, throw it in the oven, there you have dinner. And some of them are more straightforward like that than others. But there are a few recipes in here where I'm like, that could come in really handy. I don't really love cooking on a daily basis. Like, I don't mind batch cooking on the weekend, but it's not my favorite thing to do if I'm being honest. I much prefer like quick things. So I thought this would help me with that. Just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that you can make in here. Well, some of them I'll never make, like oven baked balsamic beef and vegetable stew. I'm a vegetarian, so that's probably not going to happen. Oh, one pan paella. Paella? God, why can't I pronounce anything? Perfectly saucy pulled pork. I'm not going to make that either. So there is also a bit of meat in here. But I was kind of inspired by, Lauren loves this cookbook called The Green Roasting Tin or something like that. And it's in the UK and it's like vegan or vegetarian. And it's the same idea as that. And so when I saw this one, I was like, oh, that could come in so handy. We'll see. The last one I am very excited about. I saw it and I was like, yes, finally. The Hiding Place by C.J. Tudor. I really enjoyed C.J. Tudor's first book, The Chalk Man, and this is her second book. This is about a man who comes back to his hometown to become a teacher. The little town thinks that that's the reason that he's there, but the actual reason that he is there is because years ago when he used to live there, a murder happened and all sorts of stuff went down. He is back to specifically look at certain people and go to crime scenes and try to discover, you know, the truth of the matter. And it says the worst day of his life wasn't when his sister went missing. It was the day she came back. Like, what does this mean? I'm so excited. So, yeah, The Hiding Place is another one that I got from Penguin and I'm thrilled with. This is a long video, sorry guys, but I did have quite a bit of books to go through with you in my defense. Let me know in the comments below what the best, most exciting book that you picked up in February is, if you picked up anything at all, or if you've read any of these. Let me know, have you read Washington Black? Oh my god, I feel like I need to talk to people about that book because I was so overwhelmed by it. So I will talk to you about it in my wrap up. Hope you're doing well and I'll talk with you soon. Bye guys.